Scottsbluff was their second win on the season over Gehring. For Scottsbluff, Yada Garcia broke the single-season scoring record for Scottsbluff. That had stood for 26 years. She has that record now with 354 points, and of course she led the way for Scottsbluff with 25 points. Aubrey Krentz chipped in 10 last night for Scottsbluff. So it comes down to the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed here in the B8 sub-district here this evening in Sidney. This is one of 3 sub-districts that will finish tonight. B4, B6, and this one, B8, will finish tonight. But sub-districts B1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 will start tonight due to weather they had back in eastern Nebraska. They were not able to get things underway last night, so those 5 districts will kick things off tonight. So we won't know all of the seedings as far as who's going on to the district finals until probably sometime on Wednesday night. But tonight we will crown a sub-district champion here in Sidney. Well, KNDB Sports Director Chris Cottrell caught up with Scottsbluff girls head coach David Bolish, and that interview's next as the Platte Valley Company's pregame show continues after this on 960 AM and 100.3 FM KNEB.
We've been an ALA customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and ALO.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed.
It was a game changer.
ALO came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew ALO was the company that I wanted to stick with.
No matter what job I've got to do, my John Deere 5E tractor can do it all. Whether I'm cutting, moving feed, or building a fence. Using my 5E means my work gets done faster at a price I can afford, and that works for me.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
We're back on KNEB's Platte Valley Company's pregame show tonight. Chris Cottrell joining the broadcast ahead of tip-off with our girls B8 Sub-District Championship game on KNEB.TV. Radio coverage as well. We'll get it back to Jeff Kelly in just a few minutes, but time to catch up now with Scottsbluff girls head coach Dave Bolish. Our pregame chat with Coach brought to you by The Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing. See Shane Wilson and his staff. Spring sports right around the corner. See him. You'll be in The Zone all spring sports long. Coach, big win last night. Tight at halftime. You actually trailed by 2. Heard your post-game chat with Jeff. Said you gave him a little power chat at halftime. What exactly was the message, and what led to you guys playing so well in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about our inability to move away from the ball offensively, and kind of a frustration that's been mounting within Hattie and Leslie and I in particular throughout the whole year is just that when we play good offense and then we play great defense, and kind of our body language is all, when the ball goes through the hoop, everything's hunky-dory. But if we can't get the ball to go through the hoop, no matter how great we play on the defensive end or how many of the right things we're doing on offense, we kind of get a little bit slouched. And so just communicated I was entirely over that the ball going through the hoop is actually a really small percentage of basketball. It is a tiny, tiny factor that happens. And particularly with offense, it's about moving away from the ball, making good hard cuts, making the defense earn it, being crisp, moving the ball. We tell the kids all the time, it's, a shot is good or bad before it leaves your hand. We want to it's about the quality of the look. It's about the quality of the opportunity, the offense that you're running, playing as a team. It going through the bucket. And last night in particular, we shot it. And we were taking good looks in the first half. We just couldn't get anything to fall. It just wasn't going through the hoop, which was changing our demeanor, which in order to be really successful in the postseason, you got to have more grind and grit to that. That was, I just talked to you longer about it than I talked to them about it.
You give up just 3 points in the entire third quarter, just a total of 10 in the entire second half. So, yeah, you sometimes the ball's just not going to go in the hole, and you got to be able to play through that, especially on the other end of the floor. Let's get to Yada. 25 points last night, came up huge in the second half and broke the single-season scoring record, now at 354 points on the year. That's a 26-year-old record. Outstanding performance, just a junior. It feels like she's been around 5 or 6 years now, and talk just about her performance and what she's meant and just the accolade in general.
You know, I think the accolade speaks for itself. I mean, a 26 record is nothing to snuff at, and to accomplish it as a junior, you know, is really special. But you know, I mean, that accomplishment for Yada, I am so happy for her and so proud of her. She has worked so hard for it. You know, I mean, the message that I gave in the locker room after the game was that, you know, I mean, basically all of the boards, all of the names on our record board have come down this year to 2 kids in our team. And, you know, I mean, I just want our young kids to know, I want our future kids to know that doesn't happen in, you know, going to summer camp. You know, like when we go play in Greeley or we go play in Shadow, I'm like, that's fun. Like, go play 5 games. That's not what Yada and Aubrey have been doing. You know, I mean, those 2 are in the gym with purpose, you know, 50 minutes a day, 2 times a week, all summer with me. I mean, those 2 were in my classroom, you know, September, watching last year's district game against Sidney. I mean, that's the type of commitment and dedication that it takes to be successful and to have that type of accomplishment. That doesn't just come with showing up November and playing until March. I told her, I said, you know, I'm really glad that you achieved that, but I'm glad that it was hard. She's probably the best female leader I have ever seen, and particularly at her age. She's a special kid. She is a special kid. I know everyone else is getting sick of her, but I'm just, you know, trying to value and every minute that we get to have with her, because it's been a blessing. She's a special kind of kid.
Second matchup tonight with Sidney just a couple of weekends back. You got beat. They kind of took it to you, especially down the stretch in the second half. They face guard Aubrey when you guys have the basketball. Do you have anything in mind? What do you have to do to get her loose to build some confidence? Because if you get the 1-2 punch, then things get interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some things in mind. You know, I mean, if you're watching the game, and since, you know, no one's going to be able to make an adjustment here, I mean, we're going to set a lot of ball screens with Aubrey for Yada. I mean, pick your poison there. You've got the most explosive scorer in school history setting a screen for the, you know, season holder scorer in history, and you don't want to help on either of them. So good luck with that. That's going to kind of be our plan of attack. I do agree with you. I think once we get the 1-2 punch going, then we've got so many weapons that then we become dangerous. So they don't want her to even touch it. So every time we can just get her to catch it, puts them on their heels. We just want to make sure that we're taking care of the ball and that we grind every minute of this game.
And we'll get you out of here on this one, Coach. Key to the Game brought to you by Team Auto Center. You're home with a lifetime warranty, and you get that with every new vehicle purchase at Team Auto. Closing up with Scottsbluff girls coach Dave Bolish. Coach, a key to a win maybe on the defensive end. How do you limit those open looks for Ross? And they've got multiple players that when they rebound can just take it and go, and that leads to some easy buckets. What's the focus defensively?
Yeah, I mean, number one, defensively, we've got to do a great job of getting back and getting matched up. I think if we can stop their primary break, then we have the athleticism to be able to manage them in the half court. So we've got to defend primary break and then you know, rebound on the defensive side of things, and that's kind of what gets us going too. When we can get, you know, when Mackenzie starts ripping down some rebounds and Key starts ripping down some rebounds, and we can get out in transition, that's what makes us really dangerous. So, you know, that's going to be a key to the game for us, and we just want to grind for 32 minutes. You know, quarter by quarter, minute by minute, play by play. We just, you know, whatever happens, I'm sure that the team that wins tonight is going to earn it.
There you have it from Dave Bolish, head coach for the Scottsbluff girls. Coach, it's been a great ride so far. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
We'll come back with more with Jeff right after this on KNEB.
Byers Realty would like to remind everyone that school is back in session, so make sure and watch for little ones in crosswalks. Be mindful of school speed zones, and take a second to double-check for pedestrians and bicyclists. We want all of our young students to have a wonderful and safe year. Visit callbyersrealty.com or stop by the office on Avenue B, next to Bumper to Bumper. The Panhandle's best, Byers Realty. Community strong, community proud. We have what you're looking for.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience.
Visit the experts at Paul Reed Construction, your authorized Big Green Egg dealer.
And welcome back to the Cabela's Athletic Facility here at Sidney High School as we get set for this B8 Sub-District Final, Sidney and Scottsbluff. Well, it's time for the starting lineups, and they're brought to you by Western Nebraska Community College. From diplomas to degrees, it's for me. Learn more at wncc.edu. For the number 1 seed, the Sidney Lady Raiders, they come in at 21-2, riding a 15-game winning streak, ranked in the top 10 by the state's 2 largest newspapers. They will start this way. Megan Ross, 5'6" and a senior. Nicole Berner, 5'7" and a junior. Caitlin Sylvester, 5'9" and a senior. Maddie Johnson, 6 foot and a junior. And Janae Brower, 5'7" and a senior. For Scottsbluff, they come in at 11-10. They are the number 2 seed in this sub-district. They will start this way. It'll be Yada Garcia, 5'7" and a junior. Kiera Twombly, 5'9" and a senior. Aubrey Krentz, 5'6" and a junior. Mackenzie Dunkel, 5'9" and a senior. And Brady Lockemer, 5'8" and a senior. We'll come back with the opening tip. After this, you're listening to high school basketball on 960 AM KNEB.
With Viero's Entertainment Trifecta package, never miss the big play. Work on becoming the new and improved you, or invite friends to compete in the game. Get the power of free. Get 2 new lines of HD Plus and internet service, and we will give you Sling TV, an Air TV player, and a big screen TV, all for free. Get the Entertainment Trifecta package today. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected to the content you love.
Byers Realty would like to remind everyone that school is back in session, so make sure and watch for little ones in crosswalks. Be mindful of school speed zones, and take a second to double check for pedestrians and bicyclists. We want all of our young students to have a wonderful and safe year. Visit callbyersrealty.com or stop by the office on Avenue B, next to Bumper to Bumper. The Panhandle's best, Byers Realty. Community strong, community proud, we have what you're looking for.
Our national anthem here tonight from Sidney High School as the Sidney Show Choir out there performing once again, as they usually do for most of these Sidney home games throughout the season. Well, our opening tip will be brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza at 2801 Avenue B in Scottsbluff. It's love at 425 degrees. And don't forget to register for the Papa Murphy's Text Club for a sweet deal. I'd like to also welcome our viewers on KNEB.TV, on Allo Channel 15 and Mobius Communications Channel 1500. TJ and the KNEB.TV crew are here tonight in Sidney bringing this game to you. And Kirsten is back at the KNEB studios. She'll be running the controls for us here tonight on the radio side. Scottsbluff being introduced. They are the visiting team. They are in the black uniforms tonight with red letters and numbers trimmed in white. As Aubrey Krentz introduced, followed up by Mackenzie Dunkel, and then Brady Lockemer. Scottsbluff's head coach, David Bolish, his assistants, Hattie Burford and Leslie Floral. Sidney will be the home team as the number 1 seed. They were winners last night over the number 4 seed Alliance. As we said, they come in with a record of 21-2. Those 2 losses both came to the Mitchell Lady Tigers this season. The only 2 losses on the Sidney Lady Raiders record this year. They are riding a 15-game winning streak coming in to tonight's game. The Sidney girls have not lost a game since that second loss to Mitchell, and that game was way back last year, as a matter of fact, in 2018 on the 20th of December. They lost to Mitchell 65-51. The other game between Mitchell and Sidney was in the Western Conference Tournament. That was back in December, the 1st of December, and Sidney lost that one 48-43. Only one meeting between these 2 schools, Sidney and Scottsbluff, this season, back on the 2nd of February, as Sidney came away with the 62-37 win. So we're ready for basketball here tonight from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here in Sidney, Nebraska, as Aubrey Krentz and Maddie Johnson will jump it up for their respective teams and get this B8 sub-district final underway. And Sidney controls the tap, and they will move from right to left here in this first half as they get it to Berner. Drives, tripped out to the free throw line to Maddie Johnson, and Maddie Johnson drains the first 2. That makes it 2-0 Sidney. Yada Garcia driving at the Scottsbluff end on the right side of the free throw line. Twombly driving, pull up off the glass. Rebound comes down to Megan Ross. Quick outlet up the floor to Sylvester. Cross court pass. Janae Brower, 3 off the back iron, won't fall. As Krentz comes down with the rebound for Scottsbluff. Krentz, top of the key. Lockemer holds, looks, right side pass. High post, now Garcia holds it, looking. Twombly has it, left side, back top of the key. Lockemer, Scottsbluff pull-up jumper from 18 feet away, missed by Krentz. As Janae Brower comes down with the rebound, brings it across with that left-handed dribble. Right side to Megan Ross. She holds. Down low, Sylvester drives baseline, bounce baseline. Ross from the right wing, too strong. Sylvester with the rebound. Her pass intercepted by Krentz. Aubrey on the push. Up the right side to the basket, won't fall. Gets her own rebound. Put back, comes up short. Rebound still tipped around, and Krentz can't save it from going out of bounds. And it'll go over to Sidney. 6:20 left here in the first quarter, 2-0. Sidney on top here from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here in Sidney, Nebraska. Ross into the front court, finds Johnson on the left wing, down in the corner. Sylvester driving baseline, has it stripped away from her by Mackenzie Dunkel, gets it ahead. Lockemer up the right side, and it's tipped out of her hands by Megan Ross. It'll stay at the Scottsbluff end. 2 minutes in, Scottsbluff looking for their first points. Maddie Johnstone in for the Lady Raiders, and Nicole Berner will take a seat on the bench. Throw it in back court. Garcia brings it front court on the dribble right side. Looking, bounce baseline, Dunkel to the basket, off the glass and in. Mackenzie Dunkel ties the game at 2. 5:50 left. First quarter. Johnson, Sylvester driving, tries to bounce baseline, and threw it behind Janae Brower. And the turnover gives the ball back to Scottsbluff as we're tied at 2 with 5:40 left in the first quarter. Garcia into the front court. Right-handed dribble, has it on the wing. Picked up there by Sylvester. She'll get a screen from Dunkel. Free throw line. Back to Dunkel. Backs down. Johnson can't score it. Gets it out to Garcia, knocked away from behind. Loose ball picked up by Sidney. Ross, long down court pass Brower to the basket against Garcia. Shot doesn't go, but a foul called. And the foul was on Yada Garcia. She'll pick up her first, team's first, as Janae Brower steps to the free throw line. First time tonight, shooting 73%. She drains that one, and that'll give Sidney a 3-2 lead. Mariah Avila checks in for Scottsbluff. Second one on the way from Brower. And Brower with 2 points. And Sidney leads it by 2, 4-2 here. 5:18 left in the first quarter here from Sidney High School. Garcia into the front court. On the dribble drive, pull up just inside the free throw line. Dunkel holds to the free throw line, takes it into the paint. Kick out back to Garcia, drives right side, cut off, back to Dunkel, 15-footer, too strong. Avila comes down with the rebound for the Lady Bearcats. She'll give it up to Twombly, skip pass on the right side. Avila, 3-ball, count it. And Scottsbluff jumps out to a 5-4 lead here. 4:47 left. Ross driving for Sidney, the runner, and Sidney takes the lead back. Megan Ross, her first 2 points in the game. Quick three, Krentz off the front iron. Misses the mark. Ross on the push, gets it ahead to Jaylee Shaw, who's into the Sidney lineup. To Johnstone, driving baseline left side, kicks it cross court. Johnson out to Ross. Another 3-ball, too strong off the glass. Loose ball picked up there by Sylvester. She fires it out, and Sidney retains the ball. Johnstone drives against Garcia, and she's tied up. And the possession arrow will give the ball to Scottsbluff. Off the bench for Sidney is Callie Wright and Nicole Berner. So Sidney leads it by 1 here, 6-5. Into the front court on the dribble. Garcia takes it right side. Pounds that dribble with the right hand. Down in the corner, Dunkel. Dunkel takes it into the paint, dishes down low, baseline left side. Krentz, or check that, Twombly, her shot too strong. Johnstone comes down with the rebound. Outlet up the floor to Sylvester. Berner drives baseline right side and steps on the baseline. And the turnover gives the ball back to Scottsbluff. Nice defense by Mackenzie Dunkel to step on that baseline and force her farther out than she wanted to go. 6-5. Sidney on top. Garcia into the front court, gets a high screen from Dunkel, kicks it to the right side. Twombly back to Krentz. Free throw line, quick trigger by Krentz. And she drains it for 2. And Scottsbluff takes the lead back. Ball loose, finally run down by Nicole Berner. She's picked up there by Avila, almost stolen away. Berner still with the ball. In the right corner, Brower, 3-ball, count that one. Janae Brower, she's got 5. 9-7, Sidney takes the lead back by 2. 15-footer, Yada Garcia off the far iron, into the hands of Janae Brower. Ahead, Johnstone into the paint, center court, tries to bounce baseline to Maddie Johnson, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay at the Sidney end. Megan Ross back in for the Lady Raiders. Here's Lockemer quickly in for Krentz on the Scottsbluff side. So Sidney will inbound baseline left underneath their own basket. Lob out on top. Free throw line, Johnson quickly work it right side. Here's Berner, gets a screen. Berner drives right side off the glass and in. As Berner, her first 2, and it's 11-7. Sidney by 4, 2:37. Deep 3, Yada Garcia off the back iron, too strong. Rebound run down by Lockemer. Trapped along the baseline, and she'll bounce it off of Nicole Berner, and it will stay with Scottsbluff at their offensive end. Twombly quickly in. Avila into the paint, kick out Garcia. Garcia top of the key, she'll pull it out, look to the Scottsbluff bench. get the play, fires a pass left side. Avila down in the corner. Twombly drives baseline and gets called for traveling. She tried to kick it out. Well, you can listen to the game today, relive it tomorrow on the podcast page at kneb.com. Brought to you by First State Bank of Scottsbluff and Gering. Sidney working from right to left. Ross down in the corner from Sylvester to Berner. Working around to the top of the key. Brower drives. Nothing there. Kick to Johnson. Maddie into the paint, and it rolls in for Maddie Johnson. Her first 2 of the game. 13-7. Sidney opens up a 6-point lead with 1:50 left here in the first quarter. Avila on the left wing. High post. Dunkel. McKenzie drives, goes up and under with the right hand. Too strong on the layup. Ross comes down with the rebound quickly up the floor to Sylvester. Into the paint, to the basket with the left hand. Doesn't go, but a foul called. And the foul on Scottsbluff's Mackenzie Dunkel. Picks up her first, team second. Emma Herman, Aubrey Krentz into the Lady Bearcat lineup here. So Scottsbluff will inbound, Sidney will inbound at their offensive end. Quickly inside, Johnson against Dunkel to the basket, off the glass, too strong. And Maddie Johnson commits the foul as she goes over the back of Mackenzie Dunkel. And give it right back to Scottsbluff with 1:28 left. And Scottsbluff with an early 6-point deficit here in this first quarter. Into the front court as Scottsbluff works left to right in this first half. Garcia finds Krentz on the wing. Krentz drives baseline jumper. Count it for Aubrey Krentz. She's got 4. 13-9. Ross driving at the Sidney end, and a blocking foul called, and that'll be the second on Mackenzie Dunkel. And that quickly gets Kara Twombly off of the Scottsbluff bench. 2 fouls in the first quarter for Mackenzie Dunkel. That'll put Megan Ross at the free throw line, shooting 75% on the season. Last time these two teams met up, 16 points for Megan Ross, 5 threes among those 16 points. And she had 11 points last night. Avila in. Emma Herman takes a seat on the Scottsbluff bench. Megan Ross's second free throw. That one's just a little bit too strong. Krentz comes down with the rebound for Scottsbluff on the push up the right side. Finds Twombly, cross-court pass, Avila. Avila to the free throw line, nothing doing. Back to Twombly, she'll turn, give it off to Krentz, the quick trigger. Too strong. Twombly, rebound, put back. Kara Twombly with 4. And we've got a 2-point ball game. 39 seconds left, 13-11. Ball loose on the floor. And we'll have a foul called. And the foul on Sidney's Megan Ross. And with those 2 personal fouls, Mackenzie Dunkel will quickly check back into the Scottsbluff lineup. 35 seconds left. Grady Lockemer will check out. So Scottsbluff head coach Dave Bolish taking a little bit of a gamble here with Mackenzie Dunkel. She has 2 personal fouls here in this first quarter. Sends her back in with 35 seconds left. Scottsbluff trailing by 2. They can take the lead with a 3. Garcia, right wing on the dribble, looking. Baseline. Dunkel against Johnson. Too strong off the glass. Johnson comes down with the rebound. The outlet comes to Sylvester. She bumps coming up the floor with Krentz. And the foul on Aubrey Krentz. That'll be the 4th team. Substitutions, Megan Ross, Nicole Berner, and just that quick, Lockemer back into the Scottsbluff lineup for Mackenzie Dunkel. And here comes Carly Sylvester for the Sidney Lady Raiders. They lead it by 2 with 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Toss in, backcourt, Megan Ross picked up there by Lockemer. Sylvester, right side, outside, on the dribble against Garcia. Bounces to Burner for the three, right side, long rebound, picked up, loose on the floor. Ross picks it up, drives right side, throws it up with the left hand, doesn't go. Sylvester, rebound, put back. Carly Sylvester with the rebound putback, and that ends the first quarter. At the end of one, it's Sidney 15, Scottsbluff 11 on the West Coast scoreboard.
We've been an Allo customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and Allo.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed.
It was a game changer.
Allo came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew Allo was the company that I wanted to stick with.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Welcome back to Sidney High School as we go to the second quarter in the B8 Sub-District Final, and Sidney holds a 4-point lead over Scottsbluff as we start the second quarter. Sidney with the ball, Burner driving, throws it up the right hand baseline, gets her own rebound and puts it back up and in. Nicole Burner with 4. 17-11 at the Scottsbluff end. Garcia drives and scores for her first points of the game, and she's fouled. And she'll go to the free throw line as the foul was on Caitlin Sylvester for Sidney. That'll be her first, team's third. As Garcia shooting 55% from the line. Rebound, long rebound, back into the hands of Garcia to Krentz. Krentz free throw line, kicks it back to Twombly. Twombly drives, knocked away from her. Garcia picks it up outside of Vila, top of the key. Krentz, left side on the dribble, quick trigger on the three, off the front iron, into the hands of Brower, stolen away by Scottsbluff. Krentz has it on the right side. Scottsbluff with control, trailing by 4 here, 7:10 left, first half. Lockemer holding, goes in the corner to Avila. Krentz driving, and it goes off her leg, out of bounds, and it'll go over to Sidney, as Sidney leads it by 4 points. Sidney in the home whites tonight with the red letters and numbers trimmed in black. Number 1 seed in this sub-district, riding a 15-game winning streak. Ross into the front court, finds Sylvester, left wing kick out. Brower drives baseline, kick out. Burner driving, scoring, and oh no, check it, an offensive foul. The offensive foul on Nicole Burner of Sidney. And she'll come out. Maddie Johnstone will check in. And here comes Mackenzie Dunkel back into the Scottsbluff lineup, playing with 2 personal fouls. Both teams with 4 team fouls. Scottsbluff with the ball as they work left to right. Garcia pulls it out, calls out play number 1. She'll get a high screen from Dunkel. Doesn't use it as she takes it to the right side. Now she comes back right side. Free throw line extended. Kick out. Krentz with the 3 ball. Count it. Aubrey Krentz, 7 points. And we've got a 1-point ball game. 6:22 left first half here from Sidney High School. High screen for Ross. Now she pulls it out, trying to avoid the double team. She'll give it up to Sylvester. Sylvester turns, hands it back to Johnson on the right wing. Maddie Johnson holding. Now she'll put it on the floor. Right side, back outside. They work it to Sylvester. Sylvester drives left side. Kick out Ross. 3 ball left side. Count it. Megan Ross with 5. And Sidney up by 4, 20-16 with 5:46 left here in the first half. Garcia on the dribble, into the paint, dishes down low to Dunkel, knocked away, loose ball. Avila out there to pick it up for the Lady Bearcats.
Don't stop
back to Garcia. She tried to whip a pass down low, intended for Dunkel, and fires it out of bounds. And it'll go over to Sidney. Or check that'll stay with Scottsbluff, as Twombly will trigger it in at the Scottsbluff offensive end. Baseline left. Twombly looking, toss it out, find Garcia on the right wing. Cross-court pass, Avila down in the corner, Twombly. Twombly drives, free throw line, back to Krantz, another three ball, that one will miss everything. And I'll give it back to the Lady Raiders. Aubrey Krantz with 10 points last night. As Dunkel checks out, Lockemer back in for Scottsbluff. Sidney with the ball, working from right to left. Ross into the front court, picked up there by Lockemer. Puts it on the floor with the left hand, goes left side. Sylvester to Johnstone. Johnstone one dribble, right back to Ross. Now she'll drive left side, bumps Krantz, goes to the basket, doesn't go. Carly Sylvester's rebound, put back, doesn't go, but she draws the foul and she'll go to the line. And the foul was on Yada Garcia. That'll be her second, 5th team on Scottsbluff. Carly Sylvester 72% on the season. Good on the first one. Short rest for Mackenzie Dunkel. And that'll bring Lockemer, the freshman, back to the Scottsbluff bench. Carly Sylvester 5 points the last time these two teams met. Matched that last night in the win over Alliance. Second one off, long rebound comes down into the hands of Avila. Avila up the right side, kicks it to Garcia. Garcia into the paint, bounce out on top, Twombly. Holding, she'll get a screen from Krantz, takes it right side, looking, now out on top, back to Garcia, Avila. Left wing, gets a screen from Krantz. Scottsbluff working it around the outside of the arc here. Quick trigger, Krantz with a three off the front iron. Twombly there with the rebound. Scottsbluff retains possession. Avila driving left side, tried to kick it out. Brower got in the passing lane on the interception, brings it up the court. Left hand, kicks it left side. Nicole Berner, three ball, back iron. Brower out to Johnstone, top of the key three. That one short. Garcia comes down with it. Scottsbluff the other way, trailing by 5. Avila on the left side beyond the arc. She'll launch the three from there and drain it. Back-to-back threes, Avila. She's got 6 in the game. And it's a 2-point ball game, 21-19. Sylvester backing down Dunkel with those 2 fouls. Misses on the layup, and Scottsbluff can take a lead. They trail it 21-19. Twombly quickly to Garcia on the right wing. Yada into the paint, the runner off the glass, too strong. Rebound tipped out. Avila runs it down far sideline. Scottsbluff remains in possession, 3:33 left, 21-19 Sidney. Dunkel driving right side off the glass, doesn't go. Twombly and with the rebound, and she's tied up. Possession arrow keeps it at the Lady Bearcats side. Substitutions for the Lady Bearcats. That'll be Lockemer along with Callie Wright. So Scottsbluff will toss it in. Avila at their offensive end finds Wright. On the right side, quickly to the wing. Dunkel, one dribble, back to Lockemer. Drives, dishes, free throw line. Dunkel, kick out, back to Avila. Scottsbluff working around the outside of the arc, trying to penetrate this Sidney defense. Lockemer holds down in the corner. Twombly picked up there by Johnson. Avila with another 3-ball try, and she's drained it. She's got 3 threes on the night. She's got 9 points in the first half, and Scottsbluff with a 1-point lead. 2:53 left here first half. At the Sidney end, Johnson on the dribble, gives it up to Johnstone right side. In the corner, Berner drives, stepped on the baseline, and turns it over to Scottsbluff as they lead it by 1. Mariah Avila, 1 3 in the first quarter, 2 here in the second quarter, and that's her third one gives Scottsbluff a 1-point lead. Near 2.5 minutes left. Dunkel, work it right corner, Lockemer. Scottsbluff continues to work with it. Twombly out on top. Here's Wright with it. She'll find Lockemer on the left side. Scottsbluff from left to right. Twombly. But the right, she puts it on the floor. Back to Avila. Gets a screen from Twombly. Can't use it. Have to bounce it out on top. Lockemer to the free throw line. Back to Dunkel. Drives baseline. Shot doesn't go, but she'll draw the foul on Sidney's Carly Sylvester. 2 minutes and 1 second left here in the first half. And that'll send Mackenzie Dunkel the line to shoot 2. 15 foul tonight on Sidney. As Mackenzie Dunkel in and out on the first one. Shooting 60% from the line this season. Janae Brower back into the Lady Raider lineup. Dunkel trying to give Scottsbluff a 2-point lead, and she does. 23-21, Mackenzie Dunkel with 3. Sidney quickly the other way. Sylvester into the paint, throws it up, won't go. Twombly comes down the rebound, outlet intercepted by Janae Brower, and Brower scores it off the glass as she has 7. And we're tied at 23, a minute 41 left here in the first half. Avila, high post, bounce to Dunkel. Dunkel drives right side, spin move in the paint, splits defenders and lays it up and in. Scottsbluff back to a 2-point lead. Brower cross-court pass. Sylvester in the corner, Johnson. Johnson drives right side to the basket with the right hand off the glass. Maddie Johnson, and we're tied again at 25 with a minute 12 left. Avila has it knocked away from behind. Dunkel picks up the loose ball, driving to the basket. Kick out right, quickly to Twombly on the left side. Skip pass, Avila, 3-ball, count that one. She's got 4 threes in the game. She's got a dozen points, and Scottsbluff leads it by 3 at the Sidney end. A blocking foul called as Sidney quickly up the floor. And the foul was on Scottsbluff's Kiera Twombly. First on her, 16. Here's Emma Foote in for Scottsbluff. She'll come in for Mackenzie Dunkel. Garcia and Dunkel with 2 personals here in the first half. Nobody with 2 on the Sidney side. Sidney to inbound, out on top, Sylvester, quickly to Johnson, left side. To Berner, Berner to the right side, off the glass and in. Nicole Berner with 6 points. Scottsbluff with a 1-point lead, 14 seconds left, first half. Twombly, Emma Foote on the right wing. Give it up to Twombly, to Mariah Avila. Scottsbluff content to work it around the outside of the arc. 26 seconds left. Scottsbluff by 1. Krentz looked at the step back 3, didn't take it. In the corner, left side, Avila pulls it out, picked up by Johnson. Back to Foote. Emma, pull up from 13. A little bit too strong off the glass. And Sidney will come the other way. 9 seconds left. Ahead, Nicole Berner, top of the key. Ross, 3-ball. Misses everything. Krentz comes down with the rebound. 3/4 court shot at the buzzer, off the glass. And that ends the first half. Here at halftime from Sidney, it's Scottsbluff 28, Sidney 27 on the West Coast scoreboard.
We've been an ALA customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and Allo.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed.
It was a game changer.
Allo came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew Allo was the company that I wanted to stick with.
Care Heilbron, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Kerr Heilbron and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Cabela's athletic facility here in Sidney, Nebraska at Sidney High School. Your score, Scottsbluff 28, Sidney 27. As Sidney held a 4-point lead at the end of the first quarter, 15-11. And Scottsbluff with 17 points in that second quarter to take the 1-point lead. And for Sidney, they were outscored 17-12 in that second quarter as Scottsbluff leads it 28-27. Scottsbluff trailed it 21-19. They came back to tie the game at 21. The first tie, second tie, I should say, in the first quarter with 2:53 left. Then Scottsbluff took a 23-21 lead. Sidney comes back to tie it. Scottsbluff surges ahead at 25-23. Sidney comes right back to tie it, but then a three by Mariah Avila gives Scottsbluff another 3-point lead at 28-25 before Sidney cuts it to 1 at 28-27 here at halftime. We will come back and recap the first half scoring totals in this one with your score at halftime. Scottsbluff 28, Sidney 27 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Kerr Heilbron, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Kerr Heilbron and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
With Viero's entertainment trifecta package, never miss the big play. Work on becoming the new and improved you, or invite friends to compete in the game. Get the power of free. Get 2 new lines of HD Plus and internet service, and we will give you Sling TV, an Air TV player, and a big screen TV, all for free. Get the entertainment trifecta package today. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected to the content you love.
And welcome back to Sidney High School in Sidney, Nebraska. We're at halftime of the B8 Sub-District Final between the number 1 seed Sidney and number 2 seed Scottsbluff. And here at halftime, Scottsbluff leads at 28-27. Well, it's time to look at the numbers brought to you by Arby's, the meat crafters throughout western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. Take a look first at the scoring for Sidney in the first half. Janae Brower with 7 points in the first half, 6 points for Nicole Berner, 5 for Megan Ross at halftime, 4 points for Maddie Johnson, and Carly Sylvester with 3 here at halftime. For Scottsbluff, an incredible first half performance by the 5'3" freshman Mariah Avila. 4 threes in the first half, 1 in the first quarter. She puts 3 more on the board in the second quarter. She has 12 points here at halftime to lead all scorers and to lead Scottsbluff. 7 points at halftime for Aubrey Krentz. That included 1 3. 4 points at halftime for Kiera Twombly. Mackenzie Dunkel with 3 here at halftime, and 2 points in the first half for Yada Garcia. Of course, Garcia, 25 points last night, 12 rebounds in the win over Alliance. Last time these two teams met back earlier this month, Garcia had 18 points, so a point of emphasis for Sidney here tonight to concentrate on the 5'7" junior Yada Garcia. 28-27, Scottsbluff leads at halftime here from Sidney, Nebraska on the West Coast scoreboard.
We've been an Allo customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and Allo.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed.
It was a game changer.
Allo came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew Allo was the company that I wanted to stick with.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Halftime here from Sidney, Nebraska, and Scottsbluff with a 1-point lead, 28-27. And the winner will move on to the district finals. Those pairings probably most likely will not come out until Wednesday evening. As we said, 5 of these B sub-districts are getting underway tonight due to weather back in the eastern part of the state. So B1, B2, B3, 5, and 7 are getting underway tonight. There will be 3 sub-district champions crowned tonight in this sub-district, of course, and also B4 and B6. Taking a look at the PowerPoints from the NSAA right now, as we stand, Sidney is number 1. So even if they would lose here tonight, they would most likely host a district final, but of course nothing's official until the final totals come out. Sidney sitting number 1 right now. Scottsbluff sitting at number 10 with 42 points, and Sidney, or as I said, Sidney number 1, Scottsbluff at number 10. Top 16 teams go to district finals. Gering right now sitting at number 16 with 40.35 points. Of course, they were losers last night to Scottsbluff 56-35, while Sidney got the 54-39 win over Alliance. Second half of action to come here from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here at Sidney High School. Your halftime score, Scottsbluff 28, Sidney 27 on the West Coast scoreboard.
We've been an Allo customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and Allo.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed.
It was a game changer.
Allo came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew Allo was the company that I wanted to stick with.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Halftime just about completed here at Sidney High School, and Scottsbluff with a 1-point lead here at halftime, 28-27. Glad you could join us tonight on 960 AM, 100.3 FM, KNEB, on kneb.com, and also on kneb.tv. And be sure to join us Friday from Scottsbluff High School as Scottsbluff and Gering meet up, the Cross River rivalry, and we'll have that game for you on 960 AM, 100.3 FM. Also have that for you on kneb.tv Friday night from Scottsbluff High School. Ready for second half action, and Sidney, trailing by 1, has the ball to start this second half as they work from left to right. High post as Sylvester holds a free throw line. She'll hand it Berner, driving right side, off the glass with the right hand, doesn't go, as Dunkel comes down with the rebound for the Lady Bearcats as they work right to left. Garcia into the front court, finds Twombly on the left wing. She holds, Back to Lockham. Set the Scottsbluff lineup for you here in just a minute. Aubrey Krentz, top of the key. Back to Twombly. Right side. Here's Lockham with it, free throw line. Back to Krentz, quick trigger, 3-ball, back iron. Twombly with the rebound. She has it, she'll kick it out to Lockham. Back to Yada. She holds it right side outside. Bounce entry inside, tries to get it inside to Dunkel. And the pass goes out of bounds. It'll go over to Sidney. Jeff Kelly coming to you tonight from the Logos broadcast booth. Here from Sidney High School as Sidney has it. Top of the key, Burner. In the corner, here's Megan Ross with it. She holds it, one dribble. Scottsbluff works it around the arc. Baseline jumper for Sylvester, doesn't go. Maddie Johnson's rebound putback is off the mark, but she was fouled on the shot. And the foul was on Kiera Twombly. That'll be her second, team's first, as Maddie Johnson stepping to the free throw line. And the first one falls through for Maddie. 5 points in the game for her, and we're tied at 28. Fifth tie in the ball game. Second one on the way from Johnson, high off the back iron. Twombly picks it up, and then she's tied up by Maddie Johnson. And the jump ball, the possession arrow, gives it to Scottsbluff. 6:50 left, third quarter, 28 all. Garcia into the front court, and she gets called for palming the ball. She comes up court, and that'll give it right back to Sidney. Garcia's been held to 2 points in the first half. In addition to those 25 points last night, Garcia 12 rebounds. As it's stolen away from Burner by Krentz. And Scottsbluff trying to break this 28-28 tie. Garcia on the right wing with the dribble, high post, back to Twombly, down low, gets it inside. Dunkel against Johnson, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll remain with Scottsbluff. Dunkel looking for the foul, but Scottsbluff will inbound it at their offensive end. Baseline right. Krentz looking quickly in. Dunkel against Johnson, into the paint, spins left side, goes off the glass, misses the mark. Brower comes down with the rebound for Sidney. Center court ahead. Burner right side, top of the key, Johnson. Johnson holds, find Ross. Ross left side, drives, cut off from there, trying to avoid the double team. Finds Maddie Johnson. Johnson will put it on the floor, drive to the basket, off the glass. Shot doesn't go, rebound, put back, count it, and she's fouled. Maddie Johnson with 7 points. And that'll put Johnson at the free throw line. And Sidney takes a 30-28 lead here, 5:59. Johnstone and Kendra Nesbitt in for the Lady Raiders, as Maddie Johnson stepping to the free throw line. Misses on the traditional three-point play. Kenzie Dunkel comes down with the rebound, ahead to Avila in the Scottsbluff lineup. Pull-up jumper for Avila, and her first two of the game. And she ties the game at 30 with 5:46 left, third quarter. Brower into the paint. Baseline, Johnson, Maddie drives, splits defenders. Too strong off the glass. Rebound comes down to Dunkel. Knocked out of her hand, she'll regain. And find Aubrey Krentz up the floor against Nesbitt. She'll turn, hand it to Garcia. Cross-court pass, Lockham down in the corner. Back to Krentz. Krentz picked up there by Nesbitt. Looking, and 5 seconds. Called, and give it back to the Lady Raiders. 5:19 left in the third quarter. 30 apiece. Here from Sidney High School, B8 sub-district final. Ross into the front court for the Lady Raiders. Works it, left side, Nesbitt holding, left side outside. Johnson puts it on the floor, free throw line extended, looking, cross-court pass, Nesbitt, just inside the arc, skip pass, corner, Janae Brower. 2-3 zone by Scottsbluff. Ross behind the back, drives right side with the right hand, off the glass and in. Megan Ross with 7. Sidney by 2, 4:45 left. Quickly up the floor. Avila gets a screen from Garcia. Left side pass, Lockham. Back out on top. She'll find Garcia. Avila finds Krentz. Cross-court pass. Brady Lockemer bounces inside, throws it away, intended for Dunkel. Johnstone holds it. She'll give it up to Ross. She'll bring it across for the Lady Raiders, who lead it by 2. Nesbitt holding, left side outside. Now she'll put it on the floor against Garcia. Stolen away, loose on the floor, and it's almost went out of bounds. Garcia tried to save it, stepped on the baseline, and the ball will remain with Sidney, and a timeout on the floor taken by David Bolish. 4:09 left, third quarter, 32-30. Sidney leads it on the West Coast scoreboard.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
We've been an ALLO customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and ALLO.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed.
It was a game changer.
ALLO came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew ALLO was the company that I wanted to stick with.
Back in Sidney, Nebraska, out of the timeout. Sidney will inbound, leading by 2 at their offensive end. Janae Brower on the toss in. Out on top, finds Sylvester Garcia right there, and it glances off the hand of Sylvester. Good defense by Yara Garcia. And the turnover gives it to Scottsbluff with a chance to tie it. 4:05 left, third quarter. Garcia front court. Scottsbluff works from right to left. Lockemer drives right side to the basket, off the glass, no good. Sidney the other way as Jaylee Shaw's checked into the Sidney lineup. She's got it, finds Ross, and then Ross fouled by Lockemer. And for Lockemer, that'll be her first personal. Third team on Scottsbluff. Here's Kenzie Dunkel back in for Emma Herman. Brower will inbound far sideline. Gets it in. Megan Ross bring it center court on the dribble against Lockemer. Left side. She finds Sylvester looking. Lob it inside. Sylvester against Dunkel to the basket, and Carly Sylvester puts it up and in. And Sidney with a 4-point lead. 34-30. 3.5 left, third quarter. Garcia into the paint. Kick out. Back to Dunkel. Dunkel drives against Sylvester. Spin into the paint. Shot blocked. But they got a piece of Mackenzie Dunkel as the foul was on Sidney's Carly Sylvester. She picks up her second, and Mackenzie Dunkel will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Comes in shooting 60% this season. Drains the first one. He's got 4 in the game, looking to cut it to a 2-point lead. Here in the third quarter, she drains both of them. She's got 5 in the game. Sidney by 2, 3:19 left, third quarter. Ross quickly up the court to Sylvester. Sylvester into the paint, bounces down low to Carly. Kaylin to Carly. Carly misses a layup. Scottsbluff the other way. Avila center court. She'll turn, hand to Yara Garcia. Calls out play number 2 on the dribble to the left side. Looking back outside to Avila on the right side. Picked up dribble is Ross right there to pick her up. Finds Lockemer. Bounce left side. Yara Garcia. Quickly to Avila. Mariah drives. Shot inside the paint. Doesn't go. Sidney comes down with the rebound. Carly Sylvester outlet to Nicole Berner. Berner right side. Big step and a blocking foul called on Yara Garcia. And for Yada, that will be her third personal foul. As Lockemer out, Twombly back in. Fourth team on Scottsbluff. 2.5 minutes left, third quarter. 34-32, Sidney on top. Lob it out on top of the inbounds to Caitlin Sylvester. Sylvester tries to go to the basket and a foul called, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. She got a screen from Carly Sylvester. So Caitlin steps to the line, and the fourth personal foul on Kiera Twombly. First one on the way, off the mark by Sylvester. Shooting only 49% from the free throw line. Twombly will sit down with those four personals. Lockemer back in for the Lady Bearcats. As Sylvester, 5 points last night, drains the second one, her first points of the game. And Sidney by 3. Scottsbluff the other way. Avila on the dribble, quickly to Lockemer. Here's Garcia driving right side to the glass, doesn't go. Brower comes down with the rebound, gets it ahead. Sylvester, Caitlin has it. To Brower, they work it to Johnstone on the left side, back to Sylvester. Loses the handle, ball loose on the floor. Sidney retains it. Burner to the basket. Brower, right side 3, off the back iron. As Krentz comes down with it for Scottsbluff, they can tie it with a 3. Krentz to the left side, turns, hands to Avila. Avila, top of the key, 3 ball off the glass into the hands of Johnstone. Brings it ahead to Brower. Is Brower with it right side into the paint. Ball stolen away by Dunkel, and Dunkel tied up and a foul called. And the foul was on Sidney's Maddie Johnson. That'll be the second on her, as Megan Ross in for Sidney. Janae Brower will take a seat on the bench. Only the second team foul on Sidney. With 1:28 left, 35-32. Sidney leads it by 3. Garcia on the dribble on the top to Krentz. Step back from the right wing, off the glass, a little bit short. Rebound, run down, loose on the floor as Dunkel goes to the floor, and a foul called on Sidney's Maddie Johnson. She quickly picks up her third personal foul. 1:15 left her in the third quarter. 35-32. Ball remains at the Scottsbluff end, and Maddie Johnson will come out with those 2 personal fouls. Carly Sylvester back into the Lady Raider lineup. Scottsbluff to trigger the inbound toss, backcourt Garcia. So we near the 1 minute mark. She calls out play number 2. Takes it to the right side. Driving and off the glass and in for Yada Garcia. She's got 4, and we've got a 1-point ball game. 1 minute left. As Sylvester, ball fake to the basket, misses the shot, but the rebound knocked around. It'll stay at the Sidney end with 56 seconds left. And little confusion on who they want to inbound the ball. Burner will finally take charge as Callie Wright in for the Lady Bearcats. Aubrey Krentz will take a seat on the bench. Burner to trigger it in. Sidney has a 1-point lead. Quickly to Megan Ross on the right side. Ross into the paint, has it stripped away, stolen away. Avila, and it's knocked out of her hand. She knocks it ahead. Still loose, finally picked up by Nicole Burner. Ahead, she throws it over the head of Sylvester, picked up by Dunkel. 42 seconds left. Dunkel left side, pulls it out. Garcia, Avila, right wing, takes it top of the key, lines it up for a 3. Back iron, long rebound, picked up by Sylvester. As Carly gets it to Caitlin. Caitlin up the floor. 27 seconds left, third quarter. Sidney by 1. Here's Ross. Left side, outside, holds it, whips it inside. Sylvester, kick out Johnstone. Back to Megan Ross. Free throw line to the basket with the right hand and in for Megan Ross. She's got 9. 37-34, 8 seconds left. Garcia, front court to the basket, throws it up, misses everything. With 3.7 seconds left here in the third quarter. Ball last touched by Sidney. And that brings Kendra Nesbitt off the Lady Raider bench. She'll come in for Megan Ross. So Brady Lockemer will inbound at the Scottsbluff offensive end. Baseline left, looking in quickly to Garcia. 3 ball off the glass, too strong, and the buzzer sounds to end the third quarter. At the end of 3, Sidney 37, Scottsbluff 34 on the West Coast scoreboard.
My big secret for designing a quality kitchen on a budget is J&K Cabinetry. They have all the great standard features that my clients love. Solid wood doors and frames, soft close doors and drawers, dovetail joinery. The quality is amazing. J&K Cabinetry has 17 beautiful locations, sells directly to designers, contractors, and dealers, and provides plenty of options for a semi-custom look. But the most important thing is having a satisfied client and just seeing how much they love their kitchen. J&K Cabinetry, a new kitchen around you.
ZM Lumber in Scottsbluff, your local headquarters for J&K Cabinetry.
Game, and Sidney with a 3-point lead, 37-34. Lockemer, Krentz, Avila, Garcia, Dunkel, the 5 on the floor for Scottsbluff. Sidney with the ball as Berner takes it into the paint, back outside to Maddie Johnson. Johnson drives left side, throws it up at the glass, doesn't go, gets a rebound, that won't go. Scottsbluff will come down with it, looking to tie with a 3 ahead. Avila on the right side. Back to Yada Garcia. Garcia bounce down low. Dunkel against Johnson. Shot partially blocked, but she was fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. A final score in the girls C112 sub-district. Shadron over Gordon Rushville 44-35. Shadron will face Mitchell on Thursday in the C112 championship game. Dunkel misses the first one. Came into tonight shooting 60%. She will get a second one. That one on the way. That one finds the mark. 6 points for her. 37-35. Lady Bearcats trail by 2. Janae Brower finds Johnstone to the free throw line. Looking. Now Johnson pops out. Johnson on the dribble. Left side. Looking. And a timeout. Taken by Tyler Shaw. Just a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Be sure to download the KNEB's Elite Physical Therapy Sports app. It's the go-to sports app with the latest news and live scores. Plus, you can watch KNEB.TV and listen to KNEB Sports right in the app. Download the sports app in the Apple or Google Play Store, or go to KNEB.com under the Sports tab, where you can also check out the Elite Physical Therapy score stream. And coming to you tonight from the Logos broadcast booth. Stop in the Logos and the guys will custom design it, print it, and have it ready for the game. There's no job too big or too small for Logos in downtown Gering. And be sure to stay with us this Friday. Boys basketball from Scottsbluff High School. Scottsbluff and Gering on the boys' side for the second time this season. Out of the timeout, Sidney with the ball. Brower will inbound far sideline, quick trigger into Ross. Ross picked up by Lockemer. Johnson on the left side, inside. Brower baseline, step back 3, short. Berner comes down with the rebound. She throws it up off the glass and misses the mark. Rebound tipped around, last touched by Sidney. Scottsbluff's ball trailing by 2. Caitlin Sylvester in for Sidney. And officials whistles stopping play. And Scottsbluff will have it. As Garcia brings it into the front court. Scottsbluff right to left in this second half. Garcia starts in drive, dumps it down low. Dunkel to the basket, rolls in for Mackenzie Dunkel. She's got 8, and we're tied at 37 with 6:41 left in the game. High pass goes through the hands of Johnson at the Sidney end, and then the bounce cross-court pass knocked out of bounds. It'll remain with Scottsbluff, as Ross will come down along with Sylvester. Pressure by Sidney. They get it into Garcia. Now they drop back as Garcia brings it into the front court. Between the circles. She'll take the three. Count it. Yada Garcia, her first three of the night. She's got 7. Scottsbluff by 3. 40-37, 6:15 left. To Sidney and Johnson driving into the paint off the glass. It'll drop through for Maddie Johnson. And Scottsbluff retains a 1-point lead. 6 minutes left in the game. Garcia on the dribble, gets a screen from Dunkel. Free throw line extended, nothing doing. Back to Krentz. Krentz gets a screen. Right side, driving off the glass, too strong. Maddie Johnson with the rebound. She goes to the floor. And a foul called. Foul was on Mackenzie Dunkel. And since picking up those 2 personals in the first quarter, she just picks up her 3rd right there. As Carly Sylvester into the Red Lady Raider lineup here. As Sidney with the ball, trailing by 1. Megan Ross on the dribble out front. To Sylvester, free throw line, dishes down low to Carly. Carly Sylvester on the right side against Twombly, loses the handle. And it was knocked out of her hands. It'll remain with Sidney. Their offensive end of the basket to our right. Brower quick in to Ross, 3 ball. That one bounces around, won't drop. As Sylvester there with the rebound, kicks it inside. Brower scores it and she's fouled. Brower with the right hand flip, put it into the basket. And Sidney takes the lead back with 5 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game. And she'll go to the free throw line for the additional 3-point play. Aubrey Krentz picks up her 2nd personal, 7th team on Scottsbluff. So Sidney in the bonus for this final 5:25 as Janae Brower steps in. First free throw for the left-hander doesn't go. Rebound tipped around, controlled by Sidney. They'll kick it out. Nicole Berner driving to the basket, scoring it. Nicole Berner with 8. And Sidney takes the lead back by 3 with 5:11 left in the game. Garcia, 3 ball, round the rim and bounces in. She gets the shooter's roll. She's got 10 in the game. We're tied at 43. And Dave Bolish wants a 30-second timeout. So we will keep it right here from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here at Sidney High School. Both schools' pep bands here. And Sidney's with the entertainment right now. Scottsbluff's at one end, Sidney's at the other end. One other final in C1 basketball, the Mitchell Tigers defeating Valentine 55 to 27, and gave you the Shadron Gordon Rushville score 44-35. So Shadron and Mitchell will meet up. 5:05 left in the game. We're tied at 43. Second tie here in this final 8 minutes. Ross in the offensive end for Sidney. Gives it up to Sylvester. Sylvester into the paint. Kicks it back out. Finds Berner to Brower. Janae driving left side. Kick out. Back to Nicole Berner into the paint. Tried to kick it out to Ross. Tipped away. Avila on the run out all the way to the basket. Layup goes for Mariah Avila. She's got 16 points. 43-45 Scottsbluff by 2. And she was fouled on the shot attempt. And she'll go to the line to shoot 1. As the foul was on Megan Ross, her 3rd. As the first free throw off, no good. Rebound comes down to Sidney. They'll come the other way, trailing by 2. 4:35 left in the game. Around the outside of the arc, Sidney with it. Brower in the left corner, nothing doing. Skip pass, finds Ross. Ross, free throw line, quick trigger, drain it for Megan Ross. As she has 11, And we're tied at 45 with 4:17 left in the game. Garcia calls out play number 2 at the Scottsbluff end. On the dribble, gets a screen from Dunkel, can't use it. Picks up the dribble, quick trigger on the 3. Yada Garcia, 13 points. Scottsbluff by 3. Work it down low. Carly Sylvester turnaround in the paint. And a timeout taken by Tyler Shaw. 3:52 left in the game. 48-47. Scottsbluff leads it on the West Coast scoreboard.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
We've been an ALLO customer from the beginning, 15 plus years.
Almost 15 years.
15 years now. They live here, they work here, they give back to our community. That's very important to us.
It's the difference of night and day between our old internet provider and ALLO.
Having that reliability and that speed is extremely important.
Nobody matches that speed.
It was a game changer.
ALLO came to my site and helped me resolve an issue. At that point, I knew ALLO was the company that I wanted to stick with.
(48-47), Scottsbluff with the lead out of the timeout. 3:49 left in the game. Garcia, Twombly at the free throw line, bounces down low, finds Dunkel, who lays it up and in. Dunkel with 10. 50-47, Scottsbluff by 3. Sylvester, Brower, kick out Johnson. Natty drives to the basket, and a blocking foul called as Garcia crashed into. And a push from behind. And I think they're going to call this on Mackenzie Dunkel, and she picks up her 4th personal. But the push came from behind. Garcia took the charge. 8th team foul on Scottsbluff is Maddie Johnson. 64% on the year. First one on the way for Maddie. Her 10th point. And Sidney trails it by 2. She can cut it to 1 right here. That one's in and out, no good. Sylvester comes down with the rebound. She's tied up by Dunkel, and the possession arrow gives the ball to Scottsbluff. 3:26 left in the game. 50-48, Scottsbluff by 2. For Scottsbluff, Avila, Garcia, Twombly, Dunkel, and Krentz on the floor. Garcia into the front court, takes it right side, picks up her dribble, finds Twombly, tries to dump it inside, tipped away. Twombly picks it up, underhand pass back to Krentz, quick 3, back iron. Avila there, she's tied up by Johnson, and the alternating possession gives it to Sidney. As Brady Lockemer quickly off the bench, Dunkel will sit down with those 4 personal fouls. Substitutions for Sidney, Carly Sylvester, Nicole Berner in. So Sidney will have it, trailing by 2. Sidney outscoring Scottsbluff 10-6 in the 3rd quarter. Dump it down low. Carly Sylvester low block against Twombly. Back to Ross. Ross drives with the right hand, partially blocked. Rebound tipped around off of Sylvester. It'll be Scottsbluff's ball. And another short rest for Mackenzie Dunkel. She'll check back in for those 4 personal fouls, and that'll bring Maddie Johnson off of the Sidney bench as those 2 battle down low. Maddie Johnson with 3, Mackenzie Dunkel with 4. Garcia into the front court, finds Twombly on the left wing. Back to Avila. Avila gets a screen, bounces to Twombly on the left side. Kiera picks up her dribble, finds Dunkel. Dunkel holds, coming up on the 2.5-minute mark in the game. Knocked away, loose on the floor. Garcia picks it up. She holds to Krentz. Scottsbluff working around the outside of the arc as Twombly has it skip past Avila on the right wing. Looking, finds Garcia. Garcia on the dribble, gets a screen from Dunkel. Back to McKenzie, knocked away, but she was fouled by Janae Brower. And that'll be the first personal on Brower. 6th foul on Sidney. Non-shooting, so it'll stay with the Lady Bearcats at their offensive end. Baseline left, Twombly on the toss in. Looking, gets it into Dunkel. Low block against Johnson. Doesn't take the shot. Back to Garcia. Pull up from 15. Count it. Yada Garcia with 15. 52-48. Scottsbluff by 4. Brower to Ross. To Sylvester. Chance of defense from the Scottsbluff crowd. Johnson with it. Works out front. Here's Nicole Berner into the paint to the basket. And a pushing foul called down low on Twombly. And for Kiera, that's her 5th and final foul. And she will foul out with 1:50 left in the game. And 4 points. And Nicole Berner, the 5'7" junior, who had 7 points the last time these teams met, checks into the lineup, or check that at the free throw line. Johnstone checks into the game for Sidney. Berner's first free throw bounces around, won't go. Dunkel there with the rebound. Scottsbluff has it. 1:45 left in the game. Scottsbluff by 4, 52-48. Lockemer holds it. Left side, bounce, high post Avila. Avila right side, down along the baseline. She'll put up the shot, comes up short. Rebound tipped around. Maddie Johnson comes down with it for the Lady Raiders. She'll get it ahead. Sylvester to Ross. Ross picked up by Krentz. Back to Caitlin Sylvester. She holds it on the right wing. Berner right side on the drive off the glass. Comes up short. Dunkel with another rebound for Scottsbluff. To Garcia. Quick outlet to Avila. 1:06 left in the game. She'll give it up to Garcia, and Dave Bolish calls a timeout with 1:02 left. And we'll keep it right here. We don't want to miss any of this final action coming down the pike here from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here at the Sidney High School. Well, for more than 125 years, Wells Fargo Advisors has created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. Call Ryan Windhorst at 632-7561. Together, we'll go far. Stay with us following this game. We'll have the Runs a post-game show. We'll look at the final numbers brought to you by Arby's and name our Taco John's player of the game. As we said, this is one of 3 sub-districts that will be decided tonight. The other 5 sub-districts in Class B in the state of Nebraska just getting started tonight, so they will not have their finals until tomorrow. So we won't know anything officially on the district final games until Wednesday night at the earliest. We can probably say, though, that both these teams are probably good bets to make it to a district final. For Scottsbluff, Dunkel, Krentz, Lockemer, Avila, and Garcia. 1:02 left in the game. Scottsbluff will have the ball. Lockemer tosses backcourt Garcia. 1 minute left in the game. Garcia against Johnstone, brings it up the right side, cross-court pass Krentz. Krentz holding, picked up there by Berner on the dribble, left side, bounces baseline, Avila. Double team, kick out, back to Krentz. They'll work it to Avila. They work it back to Garcia. Here's Krentz with it, 43 seconds left. Krentz on the dribble, Scottsbluff playing keep away. Krentz into the paint, now dribbles out. Finally, she's fouled by Nicole Berner. And that'll be the 7th team foul on Sidney. Nicole Berner picks up her 2nd personal foul. Janae Brower checking back in as Aubrey Krentz with 34.9 seconds left will try to expand this 9-point lead for Scottsbluff. As Krentz 10 points last night, 3 points the last time these teams met up. 73% from the line. First one rolls around. Dunkel rebound. Putback doesn't go. Rebound tipped around loose on the floor. Burner goes to the floor and a timeout taken by Tyler Shaw with 29 seconds left. A 30-second timeout taken by Sidney. Sidney coming in a record of 21-2, riding a 15-game winning streak. They have not lost a game since their last loss to Mitchell on the 20th of December last year. A 15-game winning streak and ranked in the top 10 by the state's two largest newspapers. And Scottsbluff with a record of 11-10. They came into the sub-district sitting at 500 at 10-10 and the number 2 seed. Final instructions from Dave Bolish. Scottsbluff back out on the floor. 29 seconds left. Scottsbluff with a 4-point lead in the game. As Sidney will have it. Sidney will have it. Scottsbluff will set up full court pressure. Lockemer will guard Ross on the toss in. Ross looking, finally gets it into Brower. Brower up the court to Sylvester. Sylvester almost loses the handle, gives it to Burner. Burner drives baseline, shot blocked by Mackenzie Dunkel, but they'll say she fouled her. And for Mackenzie, that will be her 5th and final foul. So Mackenzie Dunkel will foul out with 20 seconds left in the game and played with 2 personals through most of the first half. But commits her 5th foul, and that's the 10th team on Scottsbluff as Burner, and shooting only 34% from the line. So the right person to foul for Scottsbluff. Off on the first one, second one finds the mark. She's got 9 points. 52-49. Sidney in another timeout. Stay with us. We'll have our post-game show and talk to head coach Dave Bolish following this one, as Scottsbluff probably assured of moving on to a district final. The place and time yet to be determined. And for Sidney, who came into tonight's game leading in power points, number 1 ahead of Waverly, while Scottsbluff sits at 10 right now. Gehring with an outside chance sitting at number 16. The 8 sub-district champions plus the next 8 teams with the highest points go to the district finals. 20 seconds left. Scottsbluff to inbound as Emma Foote into the Scottsbluff lineup. Full court pressure set up by Sidney. Foote to inbound, it gets it into Garcia. Up the far sideline ahead of Vila. Avila will pull it out. 15 seconds left in the game. Garcia fouled by Megan Ross. And that'll send Yada Garcia, who's been held, I shouldn't say it's been held to only 15 points tonight, but she's had 13 of those here in this second half, as Dave Bolish with a timeout with 13 seconds left. And we will keep it right here once again from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here at Sidney High School, as Scottsbluff can claim a B8 sub-district championship here tonight over the number 1 seed in this district, Sidney Lady Raiders. Boys sub-districts get started next Monday, and those will be held in Alliance, and reverse it from the girls sub-district. Alliance will be the number 1 seed, Sidney will be the number 4 seed, and Scottsbluff and Gehring will once again match up as the 2 and 3 seeds in the boys B8 sub-district that'll kick off next Monday from Alliance High School. So out of the timeout we will have Garcia at the free throw line. Yada tonight, as we said, 15 points, 55% from the free throw line. 13 seconds left. Scottsbluff by 3. First one on the way, she drains that one. 53-49, and all of the Lady Bearcats will back off the lane. Garcia's second free throw, up and in for Garcia. 17 points, 54-49. Ross quickly up the court. 10 seconds left, 9 seconds left, 8 seconds left. Ross on the dribble, drive to the basket, off the glass, doesn't go. And a jump ball called with 3.7 left. Possession arrow pointing the Lady Bearcats' way. Lady Bearcats will win this B8 sub-district here tonight over Sidney, 54-49. The score at this point. Emma Foote triggers it in. Garcia up the far sideline. 1 second left. Avila holds it. Scottsbluff Lady Bearcats, your B8 sub-district championship with a 54-49 win over the number 1 seed Sidney here tonight on Sidney's home court at Sidney High School. Once again, your final score, Scottsbluff 54, Sidney 49 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
(54-49) your final score here. Scottsbluff, your B8 sub-district champions here for 2019, as they claim the sub-district championship over the number 1 seed here, Sidney. And out on the court, the Scottsbluff girls embracing and in a big circle, getting some final words from head coach Dave Bolish. The end of the first quarter, Sidney led it by 4, 15-11. And Sidney, or Scottsbluff, I should say, led at halftime 28-27, as they were outscored 17-12 by Scottsbluff in that second quarter. Sidney outscored Scottsbluff 10-6 at the end of the third quarter, as Sidney held a 37-34 lead. The game was tied in the fourth quarter 3 times before Scottsbluff came away with the 54-49 win. As the game was tied at 43 at 45, a 3-ball by Scottsbluff made it 48-45. Sidney answers right back to cut it to 1. Scottsbluff still led 48-47. Then Scottsbluff with a 3-point lead, 50-47. And the final score, 54-49 here from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here at Sidney High School. Well, the post-game show is catered by Runza, proud sponsor of Scottsbluff High School. Runza makes it all better, as Scottsbluff goes to 12-10 on the year with the 54-49 win over Sidney on the West Coast scoreboard.
We can't warn you that karma is very real.
but we can bring you Temperature Tuesdays. Runza makes it all better.
When was the last time you were at Teacher's Corner? We're now TC and more. Come see what you've been missing. Clothing, jewelry, flags, home decor, toys, American made. Stop in and see what you've been missing. TC and more, downtown Scottsbluff.
It's a different 6-inch sub for $3.99, like sweet onion chicken teriyaki on Monday and turkey breast on Wednesday. But you get over Subway, make it what you want. At participating restaurants, additional charges for extras plus applicable tax. There's discounts and coupons may be applied.
Back here in Sidney, Nebraska at Sidney High School, 54-49, Scottsbluff defeats Sidney. And for Sidney, that breaks a 15-game winning streak. And Sidney drops to 21-3 on the year with the win. Scottsbluff goes to 12-10 on the year. And as we said, both these teams will probably move on to its district final. Right now, kind of up in the air with regards to where the points and all those types of things fall. But you can probably make a good bet that both these teams will be in a district final. Time to look at the numbers, brought to you by Arby's the Meat Crafters throughout western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. On the Sidney side of the docket, Megan Ross leading the way with 11 points. Behind her in double figures tonight, Maddie Johnson with 10. 9 points for Nicole Berner. Janae Brower also with 9 points tonight. 7 points for Carly Sylvester. And 1 point tonight for Caitlin Sylvester. For Scottsbluff, 3 players in double figures for them. Yada Garcia leading the way, 17 points. She had 2 at the end of the first half, 15 second half points for Yada Garcia. She ends with 17. 16 points tonight for Mariah Avila, as she had 4 threes in the first half. She had 12 at halftime. She adds 4 in the second half. She ends with 16. 10 points for Mackenzie Dunkel, 7 in the second half. She fouled out with 20 seconds left in the game, but played most of the first half with 2 personal fouls and most of the second half with 2 personal fouls. 7 points tonight for Aubrey Krentz. Kara Twombly with 4 for Scottsbluff as they win it 54-49 is your final score here, and Scottsbluff, your B8 sub-district champions. We will come back. Hopefully we will be able to grab head coach Dave Bolish for a post-game interview. But once again, this is the post-game show catered by Runza Restaurants, proud sponsor of Scottsbluff High School. Runza makes it all better. 54-49, your final score here tonight on the West Coast scoreboard.
We've asked these mathematicians to...
We can't warn you that karma is very real. But we can bring you Temperature Tuesdays. Runza makes it all better.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Stop in at CJR and the gang at Sunny's Bike and Fitness, or check out sunnysbikeshop.com to view all the equipment. For complete sales and service, it's only Sunny's Bike and Fitness in East Oakland and Scottsbluff.
54-49, Scottsbluff, your B8 sub-district champions, as they defeat the number 1 seed, Sidney, by a final score of 54-49. And now time to name our Taco John's player of the game. The player of the game brought to you by Taco John's of Scottsbluff and Gering. Make Taco John's a game day tradition by unwrapping the original before or after every game. And our Taco John's player of the game tonight, we're going to give that Yada Garcia tonight. We gave it to her last night for her 25 points, but an incredible performance by her. Well, let's give it to Yada Garcia along with Mariah Avila, as they have 17 and 16 points respectively, but Avila with 4 threes in the first half. So our Taco John's players of the game, Mariah Avila and Yada Garcia, are Taco John's players of the game, trying to get Dave Bolish's attention to come up here for some post-game comments, and we'll continue to try and run him down for our post-game interview. And let's take one more break. Once again, this is the Runza post-game show, catered by Runza Restaurants, proud sponsor of Scottsbluff High School. Runza makes it all better. 54-49, your final here from Sidney on the West Coast scoreboard.
We've asked these
Come see Catapult, the world's premier shadow dance company, live in concert. You'll be mesmerized as these incredible dancers transform themselves into one impossible shape after another. You've seen them on America's Got Talent. Now come see them live. Critics call Catapult a breathtaking show for the whole family. Now experience the magic of shadow illusions as only Catapult can deliver. Live.
Midwest Theater, February 28th. Visit MidwestTheater.com for tickets.
Care Heilbronn, State Farm agent, is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
And welcome back to the Cabela's Athletic Facility here at Sidney High School. 54-49, your final score as Scottsbluff defeats the number 1 seed Sidney, and they are the B8 sub-district champions. And as we said, they will move on to a district final, as will Sidney, as they are the number 1 seed. They are sitting right now number 1 in the power points as we await Dave Bolish as he is talking with our friends with the Scottsbluff Star-Herald. So we will continue to wait for him to make his way over here to us, as this team came away with this win here tonight after Sidney had defeated Scottsbluff earlier this month by a final score of 62-37, and it was all Sidney in that one. But for Scottsbluff tonight here on Sidney's home court, big win for them tonight. As we said, Scottsbluff sits number 10 in the power points, but right now only 3 of the 8 sub-districts in Class B in the state of Nebraska are finishing up tonight. There are 5 that will start tonight and finish up tomorrow, so probably the soonest we'll know anything will probably be later tomorrow night, as Dave Bolish getting a hug from Emma Herman, and he is making his way up here, and we will hand the mic to him quick. Big win for you here tonight. What was the difference between the first time you played this team and tonight?
You know, I think that we just weren't really ready to grind and battle. You know, that was probably our worst game that we had in a month the first time we played. We knew that. And, you know, we just said, you got to commit to the battle. You got to commit to the war. You got to make it a 32-minute game, and you're capable. You're just as deserving as they are. And so that was just the difference. I think we did a better job of grinding throughout that game.
You never really got into a big hole. I think 5 points was the biggest deficit you faced tonight. Big performances tonight by the freshman Avila. She really stepped up in the first quarter. You talked a lot about these players last night when we talked, but that was, I think, an impressive performance by the freshman tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've been so fortunate to have her on our team. It's been my pleasure to get to work with that kid. She's been a triple jumper for me at the middle school, and I don't know that there's anyone that wants to please and wants to help the team as much as that kid. And she's also incredibly talented. You know, I mean, she is about 4'9.5" and plays like she is 5'10", and you know, she just got the heart of a lion, and we're really excited about her. I'm proud of her. You know, I just think the world of that kid, and she played like a superstar, and she's going to be one.
What was the game plan coming into tonight's action against this team from the last time you played them?
Battle, just grind. I mean, we did not do that the first time we played, and we knew it. You know, I told them the message in the locker room was, you know, girls basketball is going to happen out there. We played a whole bunch of it. We played a whole bunch of really good basketball, and you just got to roll with the punches. You got to stay positive. You got to stay, you know, mentally tough. And we've been through enough tough situations to stay mentally tough. I mean, we've learned hard lessons, and you know, I think we're stronger for them, and I'm proud of our kids for doing that.
So pretty much assured with a record of 12-10, your season's going to continue. Any thoughts on what might happen? I know it's all kind of speculative right now, but I know a lot of times you coaches can kind of figure that stuff out better than us in the media can.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at good opportunity of having Grand Island Northwest. There's some funky things that can happen, you know, with Elkhorn South and South Sioux City and Elkhorn. You know, we're the 10-9-8-7. Those teams are. So some crazy things can happen, though. You know, I mean, that's an upset tonight. I know that Creek got upset by Norris last night, and so, you know, crazy things can happen, and we just have to take care of ourselves. And we've played great competition. You know, we played the whoever's going to be the state champion in Wyoming in Class A. We've played them, and we've been some of their toughest games all year. And so we just got to take care of ourselves and get mentally prepared and be ready to go to work and believe in ourselves on Saturday.
All right, congratulations on the win here tonight. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
All right, Dave Bolish stopping by here on the Runs a Post Game Show as Scottsbluff gets the win here tonight, 54-49. As we check here, I think we have one more break to take. Let's take that. This is the Post Game Show catered by Runza Restaurants, proud sponsor of Scottsbluff High School. Runza makes it all better. 54-49, your final score on the West Coast scoreboard.
Taco John's presents Only the Day.
I'm going to wrap.
My big secret for designing a quality kitchen on a budget is J&K Cabinetry. They have all the great standard features that my clients love. Solid wood doors and frames, soft close doors and drawers, dovetail joinery. The quality is amazing. J&K Cabinetry has 17 beautiful locations, sells directly to designers, contractors, and dealers, and provides plenty of options for a semi-custom look. But the most important thing is having a satisfied client and just seeing how much they love their kitchen. J&K Cabinetry, a new kitchen around you.
ZM Lumber in Scottsbluff, your local headquarters for J&K Cabinetry. The kids need to run off some energy after school or too cold to play outside? Bring them to Planet Bounce at the Monument Mall. With many bounce houses, a concession stand, and the largest redemption arcade around, Planet Bounce has hours of fun. Call today to schedule your birthday party, or ask Ron about renting a bounce house for your party, office party, or corporate event. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Planet Bounce Family Fun Center at the Monument Mall.
All time 54-49, Scottsbluff, your B8 sub-district champions, as they defeat Sidney here tonight. And of course, both teams will move on to district finals with the time and sites yet to be determined. We do know those will happen this coming Saturday. I'd like to thank the crew, TJ, and the rest of everyone from KNEB.TV for their coverage the past two nights, and for Kirsten back at the KNEB studios. Thanks to her for handling things down at that end. And from the Cabela's Athletic Facility here in Sidney, Nebraska, I'm Jeff Kelly. Good night from Sidney.